So what exactly motivates you guys in the political scene? Is it the whole immigration scene that's going down here in Arizona?
Mostly that's
mainly just a lot of things that are corrupt with the country go all around.
Anything corrupt that we don't feel is like really right. The government, like all the riots that have been going down or the protests and stuff. That we don't feel like it needs to be happening. It shouldn't go. It shouldn't have to go to that point. Right. And we, you know, we feel like we should like pretty much rebel against it.
Yeah. I mean, because it doesn't seem like there's too many political acts out here as far as. Like,
and if there are, they're just saying the exact same thing that fucking anti-flag is saying, sex is saying. Like, they just copy them. Nobody, I don't really know any other political punk bands around here that really think for themselves, except for like dreaded postmodernists. Because they're doing the whole Arizona thing. Riot Act.
Yeah. But for the majority, we notice a lot of punk bands around here are more pop punk and they sing more about relationships and girls. We think those things aren't so important like the media tries to make it out to be. I mean, yeah, love is great, you know, and, you know, have a girlfriend or do whatever you want to do, but there's more important things going on around, especially in this state, you know. There's a lot, you know, and I think there needs to be more taken a look at it for the bigger picture, you know. That's how we feel, you know.
Yeah, what kind of crowds do you guys attract? Like, I mean, as far as like...
Surprisingly, well, I mean, yeah, like the punk rock kids, of course.
Yeah.
Like, mostly the kids, like, in Tucson. Like, because, you know, the scene is a lot bigger there. But surprisingly, we've actually been getting some, like, hardcore kids into our scene since we have kind of, like, taking over. It starts off as a poppy song, and then it gets into this, like, slow, heavy, like, stomp kind of thing, if you know what that is.
Yeah, and also, like, a slow breakdown, too, part in them. One of our songs called Tune That May Concern.
Yeah, occasionally we have some of those like hardcore kids dancing, throwing punches, you know.
We've played shows before where we're the only punk band there and there's nothing but screamo or hardcore bands, like stuff like that, and we fit in perfect. We just gotta go on and put on a good show, you know? You know, that's all it's about, you know?
Like even today, we like our next show, we have it's kind of hard to tell how many people are going to be at our next show.
Yeah, like our next upcoming show is Battle of the Bands, actually.
And honestly, we think there's going to be a lot of scene bands there, a lot of scene kids. You know?
Yeah, we saw the
So
lineup.
we're trying to bring out some more punk kids to fucking kind of thrash things. And show.
So now, what do you guys classify as the scene kids? Like, what exactly?
More of this screamo. What's generally defined, I guess, these days, any kind of like core band where they, you know, I mean,
tight pants.
Where they dress kind of. I mean,
basically any band that K&Z books.
Yeah. That's kind of true, you know, a little bit.
There are
I mean, when I go to a show, I mean, I don't think you need to dress. I mean, I don't think that you. Okay, like last scene show I went to, I've been to a lot of them. You know what I mean? So I can still go to a show. I don't hate it like that where I'm like, oh, I can't even go to those. I went to one not too long ago, and the band, every time they would like start playing really heavy, they start doing this.
I know, they like,
and I'm just like I'm sorry, it just kind of looks
fucking
ridiculous to me. We want people to mosh and get in a circle pit, and every time they do that, we're like, hey, don't be a pussy, get in the mosh. You know, we call people out.
I've honestly seen more people get more fucked up in a circle pit than in those pits.
Really?
Yeah, like people are like, oh dude, that shit is so hardcore. It's like, dude, it's really not.
I've been hit in the face before being behind a guy doing this, and I tried really hard to restrain myself not to hit him. I mean, I didn't, but I wanted so bad, but I was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna go there as an accident, but it pissed me off still, you know?
Yeah, like I've been to a lot of like hardcore band or hardcore shows like Bad Vibe, Reasons,
even Go
stuff
Great
like
Guns.
that.
Their fans would do that a lot too, because they were a hardcore pop punk straight edge band, you know? So.
Yeah, and like most of those shows, I go there and everyone comes out fine. All right, occasionally someone get a bloody nose, but like all these punk shows that I've been to, there's almost always an ambulance outside. Like it's crazy. I've seen shows get stopped. Like last time I saw the Adolescents at the Clubhouse, the show literally had to stop in the middle of the Adolescents set because someone got really fucked up. What makes a good show is when you play in front of a crowd that you normally don't play in front of, but they actually get it. Right. And that's what that show that I was talking about at the warehouse. There was a bunch of scene kids, a bunch of fucking pussy-ass bitches.
It's our best. And that was one of our best shows as well, too. But I honestly think probably the Leftover Crack one, just because it was a very exciting moment and stage for us at that time. Like, we just got our album done, and legitly, we made a bunch of copies, got some shirts done, and we were opening up for a bigger band, and there was a lot of punk kids in the crowd, and I shit you not, one of the last songs we played, Dropping Bombs, Raising Flags, once, because it starts off a little slow and it progresses into the fast part, and once it got into the fast part, man, like, there was literally a wave, like, just, the whole crowd was, like, literally, like, moshing, this wave, and even he was, like, screaming at the crowd, like, fuck yeah, everyone, keep the shit up, you know, like, it's really good, it's really exhilarating moment, you know. Another good place we used to play at was called the Slurp. It was in Tempe, and it was like a little warehouse, like a storage unit, and pretty much anything went in this place, like anything would go, like you could punch holes,
pot in there,
you could smoke pot and drink, you could write on the walls, you could pretty much do anything. Really, really cool. A lot of freedoms. It's great for punk shows, and that's where we opened up for Cerebral Ballsy.
A spot where you can. There was basically a room inside of the venue. It's hard to explain.
Like it was about the size of this whole little parking space, like right here. Maybe a little bigger, but that's about it.
Yeah, that room had like a roof inside of the venue, so like kids could like climb up there and either watch the show from up there, or they can jump off or fucking do whatever you want.
Really cool show.
Yeah, that's probably like my favorite venue.
But
I'd say the worst show I honestly think is the last one we ever played at the Warehouse 201. It's owned by Mario. You know him?
No.
No. Okay. Well, yeah,
We played with handguns.
Yeah. What happened is there was a good amount of people in there at first, but the problem was I didn't have a good guitar with me, and it wouldn't stay in tune. So I couldn't get it to stay in tune right, and it sounded like shit, like the whole set, and people were just walking out like, wow, this is terrible. And I'm just like, fuck, no, I mean, we're good, I just gotta fucking get this in tune.
Not only that, but
not only that, like, we were fucking up a lot of songs. He was really hungover, he just wasn't into it as much as he could be, you know, like, we were all just kinda, it was not a good show.
Yeah, and they just put us on the wrong show. We played with bands. Actually, I don't remember any of the bands.
The first band that
opened
opened up for that scene, no, the band that opened up for us on that show was more of a scene band.
Yeah, they were kind of a pop punk scene band.
Yeah. And
a lot of the K&Z kids were there too. That's the problem.
And then and then it seemed like a lot of them also just kind of didn't dig it as much. So they were
yeah, when we first started playing,
it's not our fault though. It's just the kids that limit themselves on one fucking genre of music and one scene, and they're just so simple-minded, and they just don't fucking bother to listen or hear our message.
Right.
And if they actually took the time to fucking listen,
as long as
they like it.
As long as their hair's looking good or their makeup's looking good, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
Have you guys toured outside of Arizona, or
no?
have you guys stayed with like pretty much, you know,
like we've been
in
to, like,
Phoenix and
we played in
Tucson?
We played in Cottonwood.
We're gonna be going to
played
California.
Have we?
No, we never played Flagstaff.
No.
We played Cottonwood and Tucson.
And just like local cities,
Scottsdale,
like Scottsdale,
pretty much
Glendale.
almost everywhere we can around the valley and outside too. We still are yet to go to Flagstaff though. Yeah.
Right now,
in May we're working on going to California.
Yeah.
No, okay. What part of California do you guys are?
Orange County.
Orange County.
Long Beach. There's a lot of good punk shows there.
There's gonna be a night where we don't well, actually I don't know, but we basically said if there's a night where we don't have a show, we're just gonna
try and just do a free show.
Yeah,
just
anywhere on the beach, on the fucking in an alley.
Yeah,
someone's house somewhere.
Yeah, something like that.
Now, what kind of message you want to convey to the kids or to anybody out there that's listening to your music?
Don't fucking agree with your parents on everything. Like, all these kids I know have the exact same political beliefs that their parents have, because, you know, that's what they grew up on. And it's like, dude, you have an internet, you have shit to look your own, you know, you got to do your own research. You have to make your own opinion, regardless of what your parents think, regardless of what your brother thinks. You know, it's just, it's ridiculous how kids don't think for themselves nowadays.
Right.
And like, it's just important to think for yourself. That's all needs to happen for a lot of things to get better.
Right. I feel like you need to definitely take a look, you know, because a lot of people sometimes don't think, they even think when you talk about, you know, injustice or corruption, they think like sometimes you just want a reason to bitch and you have no real proof or evidence. And it's like, it's all around you, you You know, there's shit going on every day. You gotta see for yourself. You know? It's just kind of ridiculous sometimes how people can be ignorant on this subject. That's how we feel, you know. And we just really want to get those kinds of messages out there, you know.
Yeah.
Just really want people to think.
Think for yourself. Don't let your parents think for you. Don't let your church think for you. Don't let your fucking
State or
bishop.
governor.
And then pretty much have an idea for yourself, right?
Right,
Be your own person.